Hello Year 4 and welcome to part 2 of today's reading session. So in today's session we're looking all about inference. We are really focusing on those 5 W's and H questions. So they're questions that begin with who, what, where, when, why and how. And these questions, we know, really require us to be a detective and really think, well, why did they do that? What did they mean by it? So we're going to look at one question together today. And it says, look at the beginning of the chapter on the river. So it's telling us where to look. That's a start. And then the question says, why do you think it was almost completely dark when they found somewhere to moor? So we need to think, well, what are my key words in this question? Well, definitely the chapter on the river. That's a really key part of this question because it's telling me where to look. Then it's asking me why. We know that when we are asked why something has happened or why we think something, what word do we need to use in our answer? That's right, we need to use the word because. So we could say that the beginning is a key word and on the river is too. But also why and completely dark, because it wasn't just dark, it definitely wasn't light, it was complete darkness. So let's just think, well, when something is completely dark, does that mean that it's the morning, midday, night time, afternoon? What type of day would it be? That's right. It could either be at night time or even really early in the morning, before the sun had risen. Now, do you think it would be early in the morning when they found somewhere to moor? Maybe. But let's have a look at the beginning of the chapter. So it's here, and we can start by seeing that it's the beginning of the chapter on the river, and we can also see where it says it was almost completely dark when they found somewhere to moor. Now, the fact that it was almost completely dark means that there's still a bit of light. Almost completely dark. It's not completely dark, it's almost completely dark. Now, thinking about what time of day that is that going to be early in the morning before the sun has risen or late at night before the sun has completely set? If it's almost completely dark, what time of day do you think that is? That's right, that means that it's definitely going to be somewhere in the evening time, before it's completely dark, before the sun has completely set. Now, we're thinking now, so we're going to start our answer by saying it was almost completely dark because. Now, why do you think it was completely dark then, where we know that it's near night time? What does that tell you about how long they'd been travelling for? That's right, it'd been telling you that they'd been travelling for a really long period of time. So they may have started travelling in the morning, but now that it's dark suggests that they had been travelling for a really long time. So I can start to scaffold my answer by saying they had been travelling all day and the sun had set. And that is all my answer would be. But remember, I've written in my full sentence because I've just changed this wording from the question and answered it by saying it was almost completely dark because. And why was it? Because they'd been travelling all day and the sun had set. Now it's your turn to answer a bit of a different style question, because in your independent task today, you will be having some 5 W's and H questions, but you'll also be having some multi-choice inference questions. So we need to understand how to answer both. Now you've had lots of questions on the 5 W's and H questions. So we're going to try and have a go at this one on your own. So, it's fine, he called. It's safe. How is Fred feeling at this point in the text? So you've got to tick one thought. Is he feeling scared because he said it's fine, it's safe? Is he feeling angry? Is he feeling relieved? Or is he feeling unbothered? Now I've included the text here and you can find the exact quote where he says it's fine, he called, it's safe. And I want you to have a go and see if you can answer this question to only tick one thought. So pause the video now, have a go please. Okay, how did you get on? Did you find the key words? Did you find that we are thinking about how Fred specifically is feeling. So it's specific to Fred and how he is feeling. We can then find it in the text, and we can see that I've highlighted it in the text here. Now, if I go through all my options, let's read before and after the quote. And I can see that before the quote, his heart was beating in his ears, swinging a stick ahead of him through ferns, sniffing for the smell of anything recently killed. He was looking for the Kaiman, wasn't he? Now at this point, his heart was beating in his ears. How was he feeling then? Was he feeling scared, angry, relieved, or unbothered? That's right, he would have been feeling extremely scared. But now it's kind of changed a bit, because he said, "It's fine," he called. "It's safe." So would he be feeling scared anymore if he knows it's safe? No, he wouldn't, would he? Would he be feeling angry knowing that it's safe? No, he probably wouldn't be feeling angry. Would he be feeling unbothered? When you're feeling unbothered, it's like you just don't really care about anything. You don't really have any emotions. But here, we can see that he's used this type of punctuation here before he's closed the inverted commas. What punctuation is that? That's right, it's an exclamation mark. When we use an exclamation mark in our writing, what does that usually express? Maybe excitement or an exaggerated emotion. So he definitely cannot be feeling unbothered. Was he feeling relieved? What does relieved mean? Yes, when we're feeling relieved, we often feel like quite, finally, we can relax again. So now he's thinking, right, it's fine, it's safe. Whew, thank goodness. So, how do we think he's feeling? That's right, he's feeling relieved. Fantastic. Now it's your turn, and you can see that your worksheet today has a mixture of your 5 W's and H questions and also a mixture of multi-choice questions. So you can have a go at those now. Remember, for the multi-choice questions, you need to read all of the options available. And for the 5 W's and H questions, if it's asking you why, what magic word should you use? Because. Fantastic. So a plenary here then. What 3 top tips would you give to someone who is answering a multi-choice inference question? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, what were your 3 top tips? Maybe you said that your top tip would be to read all of the choices that you have available. Maybe you said that if they're giving you a quote to look at, or a area of the page to look at, then you look at that page first. Maybe you said that you might want to highlight the key words and start to think, well, which answer would be appropriate? Okay, now it's your turn to have a go. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in our next lesson. Goodbye, Year 4.